The Sports County Report with Lieber King, brought to you by Harvey Autos in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you've trusted for years. Geico, the insurance savings you expect. Supreme Chevrolet, expect more from Supreme Automotive Group in Gonzales.
Creed and Creed Law Firm, serious attorneys for serious injuries.
Bollinger Shipyards, 75 years of delivering high-quality vessels. Here's your host, Lieber King.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
My name's Yasin Sarah. I'm from Broadmoor High School. That's Y-A-S-I-N. Last name is Sarah, S-A-R-A-H.
Coach, I know at Broadmoor, man, y'all work hard. You know, y'all don't have any feeder schools like you told me. You don't have any junior highs. So, and tell me what that's like, because you told me there's a lot of kids that when they get to high school, you have to teach them how to tackle, and it's a little bit different than the traditional.
Yes, sir. Coming in, we know it's about development at Broadmoor. It's a system that we have in place. So once they get in here at 9th grade, it doesn't matter if you've been playing football your whole life or you just begin playing football. We start, the basic X's and O's. Some of our kids, they don't even know what a hash mark or a yard markage is. So we have to teach them everything. So we do start from the ground up. We understand that, in the weight room, they start with just the bar. They just start with their form, and then that's the same with football. They just start with just the bar, we feel like, and then once they get their grip, that's when we throw them in the mix, and they start making an impact for us. So it is a system thing. You see our guys developing as they grow older in our system, and we're happy with the results that we're seeing.
Coach, you told me about your path to high school coaching, and it's very interesting.
Yes,
how you went to LSU, and tell everybody you're not from Louisiana and how all this happened for you.
Yes, sir. I was, I'm from South Carolina. I went to Union High School. We played in 3 state championships when I was there. Unfortunately, we lost one of them, and we won a couple. So I do have that experience, going to Williams-Brice Stadium at USC in South Carolina. So I brought that down to Louisiana. I went to LSU. From there, when I was student teaching, that's when I got connected with Coach Price. I was over at Broadmoor. This was back in 2012, and that was my first year coaching, was under Rusty Price. So once I graduated LSU, I ended up going to East Ascension for 4 years, and I coached under Paul Bourgeois and Darnell Lee for a few years there before coming back to Broadmoor. And I feel like, since I've been back at Broadmoor, we've seen a lot of changes, and not just with the football program, but the overall athletics.
Coach, the history of the school with Alan Stansberry, went to LSU back in the 90s, linebacker. Billy Cannon Jr., legendary. You talked about the coach, and also Bob Carter was a great coach way back. And the Bucks have some history. There's a lot of history at the school.
We actually, we hear about that John Curtis game all the time. We hear about the late 80s. We hear about all the guys that came through. It's very interesting just to go on YouTube and look up those old WFB and WBRZ or whatever the news is, reports were on like the old Rusty Price teams and even before him. So seeing those old legendary teams back in '66 when they won the state championship at LSU, they actually played that year. It's good to see the history at Broadmoor, and even when you're walking the halls, you still see some of those things like the cannon that's still sitting in the auditorium area. So it's pretty interesting to always look back and know the history, and we try to bring a lot of that history back to Broadmoor, including the skull and crossbones and the traditional Columbia blue and the scarlet red.
Coach, I got to mention this just for LSU fans, that you're from South Carolina. The LSU game, that looked like South Carolina was going to blow LSU out for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
What were you thinking come first quarter when it was like, I think it was 21-0 South Carolina?
Yes, sir. Actually, we had a couple of days off because of the hurricane for that. So luckily I was able to make it back up to my hometown. I was actually at that game.
Okay.
So I was surrounded by a bunch of white towels all in my face. It didn't look too good. They were making excuses about the refs and everything, which I could see their point. Their quarterback did get injured at halftime, so I feel like the tides did kind of turn towards our way once that happened. But Lacey and a few other guys did step up and make some big plays. and I feel like that comeback right there is propelling LSU to a good second.
And
not
that
even
field,
second
that
half,
field
the rest
goal
of
was
the
like
year.
an inch away from being good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, sir. And it looked good from the up top, so we had to just watch for those referees and how the student section reacted.
Coach, before we go, I know you got a game to play tonight, but talk about 2 or 3 sleepers you'd like to promote that are juniors, seniors that you would love to just throw out there to help them.
Okay, yes, sir. We got a senior, Kenneth Hawkins. He's been a 4-year starter for us. He's an all-specialty guy. He's a lockdown cornerback. He's also our running back. He plays slot. He can be our quarterback when we need him. So he plays a little bit of everything. He's just that athlete. Runs a 4.4, 40, and he's excelled in this past year. You can see he's got that twitch. He's got that special elusiveness that can get by people. We have another guy, Jorge Alvarez. He's a 2nd year playing football. He goes both ways for us. He plays offensive tackle, defensive tackle. He's about 6'3", 6'4", 275. He's put on 100 pounds on the squats, 60 on his bench, 60 on his power cleans just in the past 9 months. So he's one of those quiet guys, hard workers. He'll just do everything you ask him to. He played all D-line last year, so this year we wanted to expand him to that offensive tackle role as well.
Well, I wanted you to be able to promote those guys, and I told you I would want to get to you this year, and glad I could get you, and good luck to you tonight.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it, Lee. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King.